He left early next morning. Good riddance, Gordon grumbled, chattering all night. Who is he, anyway? Doc told you, said Thomas. He's famous. As famous as me, huffed Gordon. Nonsense. He's famouser than you, replied Thomas. He went 100 miles an hour before you were thought of. So he's...
How's it going, guys? This is EP53 here for my first ever tutorial video, yeah. If you keep in touch with that, recently I was in the last, Thomas the Tank Engine Community remake, which was of Gordon and the Famous Visitor. And if you notice my clip, you may have realized that I actually incorporated moving eyes into that clip, as you might have, like, maybe I put it at the beginning of the video. But yeah, some of you may be wondering how I achieve, those moving eyes, and I will show you in this tutorial video today. So yeah, warning to all the people who are going to be watching, this tutorial is specifically going to use Photoshop and Sony Vegas Pro. If you do not have these programs, sorry, but like, Matt Twillman, Hero of the Japanese Train, also released a moving eyes tutorial. You can go watch that. He uses a free version of Photoshop that I'm not too sure about that, but yeah, he uses that and Camtasia Studio Pro. So if you have those two programs, you're good to go. So yeah. So here I'm in Sony Vegas, and first we're gonna go in and get the clip we want to have moving eyes on. Let's take this one for example. So this is simple enough. This is just a good old clip of Thomas and Percy. I'm just going to wait till the lighting is consistent. Around here. There you go. And we won't be needing the sound. So, there you go. Now we have a nice, good old clip of Thomas and Percy. Also, keep in mind, when you record your clips where you want to have moving eyes, make sure that the camera is 100% perfectly still. If the camera is even slightly moving, it's going to completely ruin your effect. Also, what's great with this technique is that you can, like, using this technique, that it doesn't have to be a still image. You can have video in the background. Like, for example, there you see there's tracks behind Thomas and Percy. For example, you could have Edward, like, puff out of the shed or something like that. You could have smoke. But, though, be careful of the smoke, because I might be showing this on the screen right now. When I filmed the clip for the community remake, you did see that due to my technique, smoke does go behind the face, but I'm gonna dive into that a little later. So, like I said, here we have a beautiful image of Thomas and Percy, which is great because we see their eyes and it's perfectly clear. Okay, so what you're gonna do is that you're gonna click up here to save a snapshot, and then, well, you're gonna copy a snapshot, and then you're gonna go here and save the snapshot. I'm gonna just call this TNP for Thomas and Percy. Yeah. Okay. So now that is saved. Well, we'll know it's saved once it's gonna appear into the media bin, and there it is. Okay. So now we just have a we just have a picture of, wait, this is a bit weird. Now we just have a picture of Thomas and Percy. That's all this is, so yeah. We won't need this okay, now we're gonna get out of Sony Vegas, and we're gonna open, as you see down here, we are going to open Photoshop. So I'm just waiting for, I have CS6 extended, but if you have any other version of Photoshop, it should work perfectly well, as long as it's one of the more professional versions. So, yeah. Okay, now we are in Photoshop. What we're going to do is that we're going to go open the picture that we just saved. Okay, there you go. Oh, and before I go on, before I forget about it, before you take your snapshot, I recommend that you, like, if you're making a video or remake or anything, I recommend you edit the whole video and then you take care of the moving eyes, because one thing that would be inconvenient is that, for example, what I like to do often is, like, go into effects and then, like, for example, I feel like my clip is not colorful enough. I want there to be more saturation. Therefore, I will go into video effects and go search saturation. Sorry if it takes a little while, but yeah, I will go get saturation, adjust, put it to default, and then I'm just gonna mess around with the saturation. Like here, there's no color at all. Here, there's a bunch of color. I like to put like somewhere near 400, but yeah. But for today, I'm just gonna get rid of saturation. We're gonna keep it like this. So yeah. Now, and also, like I said, you want to put saturation in all your stuff before you save the snapshot, because the faces may change. But we're gonna go into that right now. Okay. So now that you have this picture right here, what you're gonna do is that you're gonna zoom in on the engine's face. And what you're going to do is that using either the quick selection tool or the magic wand, I feel like it goes better with the quick selection tool, but basically what you're going to do is just select the face. It doesn't need to be exact in any respect whatsoever, but you're just going to select the engine's face of which you want to mess around with. Okay, so now we have Thomas and Percy's face. What you're gonna do is that you're gonna layer via copy. Okay, once you have that, now you're just gonna have you're gonna have the faces of both engines. Now what you're gonna do is that you're gonna zoom in on only one of the engines' face. Like I'm gonna do Thomas to begin with. What you're gonna do is that using the magic wand tool or the quick selection tool, for this instance, it's better to use the magic wand. You're going to select the pupils of the eyes, just the pupils. Because my technique revolves around the fact that most people who do moving eyes, what they do is that they basically just get rid of the pupils and just draw black dots. I am completely against that technique, as this one I can just use the actual eyes on the engines. So now you see we just have two weird floating eyes, which is good. Okay, so now we're gonna go to Percy and do the same thing with him. What I do is that, also don't forget to click on the right layer. Okay, did I actually, yeah, okay. Just be sure to not accidentally select something you didn't want to select. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing as we did with Thomas. Basically what you're gonna do is just move the magic wand around until you're sure you've gotten everything you need. Sometimes if you have too much, you can just go use the quick selection tool and just gently just go around what you don't need. And as you saw there, I did too much of it. But yeah, for the moment, this is perfectly okay. And remember, you need to grab both pupils before you, okay. And then, as we did before, we save layer via copy. Okay, so basically what we have now is just, we have the faces of the engines as well as the pupils. So for the moment, we're gonna get rid of the pupils, because what we're gonna do is now go on the face layer, and well, when I say face layer, I mean the layer which has the faces. And what you're gonna do is that you're gonna grab the magic wand again, but this time we're gonna do a little something different. We're gonna grab the exact same thing we grabbed before. Actually, yeah, well, it's better to do one engine at a time, but you're gonna grab both pupils, and what you're gonna do is that you are going to go to Edit, Fill, and then Content Aware. Be sure it's at Content Aware. And then mode normal, blend opacity 100. Okay, then do OK, and then you'll realize that most of the eye is gone. You still see a bit of gray, but you see that it's gotten rid of most of the work. What I do usually to make the job easier is I will do a combination of using the spot healing brush, just going around, just drawing about. It makes a black line, but once you unclick, you'll see that it's gonna have gotten rid of a bit of the stuff that you're trying to fix. It does work really good. I'm just gonna do the second eye right here. yeah, as I said, it does work okay, but sometimes it doesn't work just enough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the blur tool, mode lighten, and strength 100, and I'm just gonna go in and just like smoothen out, like I don't know what's the technical word, but I'm just gonna go and make everything smooth, everything blend together much more, just better. So you'll see like it looks much more natural. The thing you want to do is get rid as much as possible of the remnants of where the pupil was, because it's really going to show up on video once like your eye, like the pupils aren't where they were original on a model. But as you see, like that is pretty good. Like it's not perfect, but let's go for this for a while. But like once you're gonna do this, I recommend you really go. You know what? Actually, I am going to just sometimes what I also like to do is just like pick a specific color and just like paint it in like this. Sorry if you hear like trucks and stuff in the background, that happens a lot. Yeah, do something like this, but then go back and use the blur tool, because like either it will work really well, or you will just have made it worse. In my case, I think I made it worse, so I'm just gonna leave it like this, like it's okay like this. So now we're gonna go to Thomas and do the exact same thing. Also, by the way, of course, this is going to be like much less time consuming. Like the more engines you have, the longer it's going to take, of course. So you don't need to like always have that many. Like sometimes in a scene, you don't need to absolutely have every engine move its eyes. So yeah. Actually, while I'm here, I think I'm gonna try something. Like if I just select the whole area right here. Oh wait, there we go. And then fill again, being content aware. That also does work really well. Actually, maybe if you even use the elliptical tool. Yeah, that does work decently well, but we're still gonna use a bit of the spot healing brush, especially right here. Yeah, just so. Yeah, sometimes the spot healing brush. Actually, wonder if the oh, okay, yeah, the healing brush tool, it works in a different way. Also, turn notifications. So yeah, like we did before, just come in and blur it out just to make it look much more natural. I'm actually just gonna, okay, there we go. So yeah, and there it is. Now, Thomas and Percy have become terrifying slender demons. Hurrah! Okay. So now what you're going to do is basically, you're going to save this image. We're just going to call, like, to make it more convenient, I'm going to call it TNP1. Save it as a PNG. Always save it as a PNG just so you can keep, like, it needs to be, the backgrounds need to stay invisible. Keep that in mind. Always, wait, I'm going to do it again with the eyes. Always save it as a, wait, oh, not a portable bitmap. Always save it as a PNG. It's just gonna be hell if you try to do it in JPEG. No, it's actually impossible if you do it in JPEG. So, yeah, keep that in mind. And also keep in mind that you need to save both eyes for each engine, like separately. Like you don't, like, you can, like, the faces can just be one image, but like for the eyes, always have separate images for separate engines. Okay, so that's it for Photoshop. Okay, so now we're gonna go back into Sony Vegas, and what you're gonna do is that you're gonna get My method may be a bit sloppy because like I'm not the best Sony Vegas, but like this is just the way I do it. If you have any other ways of doing this, like maybe you could tell me on Twitter or something. But yeah, what you're gonna do is that above the video, above the original video, you're gonna put either 3 or like minimum 3, but in this case we're gonna put 4 video layers, and I'm gonna explain that in a moment. So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna go import the 3 images that we just did. Okay, so on the layer just above the video, you're gonna put this one, the eyes, and then the next 2 you're gonna put the actual pupils in no particular order, and then on the final one, what you're gonna do is that you're gonna put another one of these faces. I'm gonna explain why you need to put 2 of these faces. So you're gonna go into Event Pan Crop, and what you're gonna do is that you're gonna go into Mask. Gonna check the mask. So what you're gonna do is that now you're gonna go to the engines. You're gonna grab the anchor creation tool. You're basically just gonna create an anchors going all around. Okay, sorry for that slight awkward cut, but yeah, like I said, we're gonna do anchors around all of the well, the eye cavities. Like, I'm gonna explain this in a moment, but some of you, the intelligent ones, might have already gotten that. So like that, you're gonna see like for some reason, like it's just like basically Thomas has become a pirate. What you're gonna do is that you're gonna put it to negative. So there you go. Now you're gonna you see that this eye is actually uncovered, but the others aren't. So basically, you're gonna keep doing that for all of the eyes. I'm doing a quick job right here, but some of you could do just like really precise. So, and again, you put a negative, and you see that now Thomas's eyes are perfectly clear. So then we're gonna just move over here to Percy, which is again the same image. And you're just gonna go around here. And also be careful that sometimes, like, if you smudged like the eyes too much in Photoshop, like it might like be weird, like trying to figure out like if like where the eye actually stops. Okay, so yeah, you're gonna put this negative, and then this last one. Again, I'm just doing this like really quick. And negative. There you go. Now you can perfectly see Thomas and Percy's eyes. So this is where the magic comes in. I'm just gonna extend these. There you go. Okay, so if we go into Event Pan Crop in one of the eyes now, what you're gonna do is that all these settings don't really matter, except that you have to, like, snapping needs to be off. Like, if you want to have a better time with this, snapping needs to be off. Oh, wait. So basically now, what you can do is that, like, if you take a good look at Thomas over there, his eyes are moving. Like, when I move this box over here, like, for the Event Pan Crop, you actually see that Thomas's eyes are moving left, right, up, and down. So yeah. So I'm just gonna just put that back into place. So basically what you can do at this point is just decide, okay, after like 2 seconds, Thomas's eyes are gonna come over to Percy. And then at 4 seconds, his eyes are gonna just look up. And then at 8 seconds, he's just gonna just gonna slowly come back into place. And that's where the point, and like as you may have noticed, like that's where the point of the top eye thing going on, is that it's just so that the eyes like never go out of their boundaries. Like as you see, like it just makes it a bit better. Like you can make Thomas into a horrifying demon monster, but yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna put this back into place. And let's check that out. Also, like I'm just gonna go back in here. For these, like, because like the way I put this is that basically these are gonna make an animation. And what I found is that I used to use smooth because like so the eyes moved, but like each time it would get to a certain location, like it would just stop, like it would just slow down and stop, which like depending on what you're gonna do, like it's better to use like smooth. Like if you're just planning on your eyes going in one direction, use smooth. But if you're trying to do like a Thompson Gordon remake where the eyes just like do Thomas is a tank engine who lives in a big station on the island of Sodor and his eyes like spin around, I suggest linear. So yeah, for this one we're gonna do linear. So yeah, so Percy's eyes aren't going to move, but we don't necessarily need that. Okay, so... And there you see that Thomas's eyes are moving. Yeah, and of course you can do the same thing with Percy. Just like... Oh yeah, Thomas, yay! Yeah, but I'm not going to dive too much into that one. So yeah, now you know how to make eyes move using Windows Movie Maker and Photoshop. Windows Movie Maker, I mean Vegas, of course, Vegas. But yeah, for some of you who may be thinking, oh, but this is like for Thompson Railway, like this probably doesn't work like for trains or something, or if I do Bachman and Hornby and stuff like that. But actually, you may be surprised because I did do this earlier today, like as a test. And yes, it does. Wait, I'm just gonna get rid of the audio. But yeah, this does work with Hornby models. As you see, Thomas's eyes are spinning around, like I said earlier. Gordon's eyes are also moving to the side. I would have showed you guys some trains footage, but sadly, like the program was just crashing for me. But yeah, this was my tutorial on how to make moving eyes. If like I said in the beginning, you don't have Sony Vegas or Photoshop, go watch Matt Twillman's video because he illustrates perfectly how to do it without like spending hundreds of dollars on expensive programs. Oh, and also it makes me think about something. Like I said at the beginning, since this is video, like instead of like just solid pictures, you can have like trains moving in the background. You can even have smoke. But if you're going to use smoke, I just want to warn you. I'm gonna play the Gordon and the Famous Visitor clip that I did. If you use smoke, just be careful because if you use smoke, it will be noticeable. Like depending on how you actually do your moving eyes, it's gonna be noticeable that it's gonna be noticeable that the moving eyes are fake. Like because like the smoke does go behind the smoke box. Well, the faces, at least on my clip. So just be careful for that when you're going to be using smoke and stuff like that. So, yeah, this was my tutorial on how to make moving eyes for any Thomas the Tank Engine, like, related thing. Like Thomas Wind Railway, trains, Hornby, 00, like, just, the possibilities are endless, so just thank you guys for watching. This is EP53 signing off. Thanks for watching.